I decided I'm going to make a classic pot roast. So, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on. That way you know when I go live in case I start at a weird hour like now. So I have here a chuck roast, and I'm actually going to turn this. Typically you wouldn't want a crock pot. You know what? Let me turn this up some because I actually had it kind of perfect earlier. There we go. So you actually want this level. So once I get done everything, I'm going to turn it off. But I just have it on my stove to show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have chuck roast here. Nice 12, I forget how many pounds it was. I'll write through the label away. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put that in my crock pot. I'm going to move my board for a second so you can see what I'm doing. So now that I have that in the crock pot, actually I'll turn that off while I do this. I'm going to go ahead and season my meats. I got a lot of stuff here. I am going to use, for my first one, just some parsley, which is awesome on beef. I would use fresh, but my herbs aren't very happy today. I gotta figure out what's going on with them. So I'm gonna use some paprika. Some chili, give it a little kick. Not a lot though. That's good. And because I do want it to have a bold flavor, I'm gonna give it some cumin. Again, not, a lot. Oops. And I already used parsley, some thyme. I could have sworn I had basil out, but I don't see my basil. I must have moved it. Let me grab that real quick. Maybe. Huh. Where did it go? Oh, I already used it. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I guess there's basil on it. You know what? I'm going to put more basil on it. Just because I'm losing my mind already. Okay. Some rosemary. And finally, some ginger. That's going to give it some good flavor. Ginger is always hard to get out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pepper it. Okay, and I'm going to let that chillax over here. Well, I put my spices aside. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn this on. Give it low, actually I'm going to put it on high, let it sear and heat up for a bit. While I grab my board and I'm going to start adding my veggies. Helps if I close the spice cabinet. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take garlic cloves. I have 4 here. And I'm going to press them into the pan. Don't worry about hurting them. They don't have feelings. Like I said, please subscribe to this channel. That way you can get notifications of when I go live. It also helps me to grow. If you really enjoy what I do, you can hit up my PayPal, which is also Amber Burns Black. Those of you who have been supporting me, I love and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. I know that my channel tends to go global. If you're not familiar with American economics, I don't know if it's global or just America. We're not doing too good right now, which shouldn't shock anybody. So inflation, gas prices, there's even a baby food shortage, which is horrifying. Any little bit helps. I do not want my channel to go into hiatus again, which has happened before. And the way that things are going, that is a definite possibility. It could be as early as tomorrow. So I love you guys, and I really appreciate everything that you do for me. I actually smashed these up pretty good. Coming right off. So, yep. Got the paper off. Got the tip off. Yep. Okay, and I already oiled up my board. And remember, you want to oil your board before you start anything. That way, it doesn't leave any marks. Because you can see where well, maybe you can't. It's there. But before I learned that, this board got pretty well used. So it actually is nice advice, and it helps. So I'm going to go ahead and press my garlic into this. I'm going to grab a little knife and just pot. And again, you know, it has that flattening to it, which I will scrape out at the end. That's why I keep the little knife on you. That is a little hard to squeeze because it's fresh garlic. There it goes. Which I've had happen a lot where it breaks here. And I get these at the dollar store because I go through them like you wouldn't believe. So, I had a really, really nice one, but even that one, it didn't break. I just think it's packed away and never to be found again. So whenever you use a garlic press, you want to do one extra clove than what you would normally do, just for everything that gets stuck in there. At least I do. Which it all comes out. So last one. And I have that all scraped out, and I have it placed nicely on top of the meat, which I can already smell because I have it heating up. I just wanted to, what is the word? I can't think of the word. I cannot think of the word. Just like burn it a bit. So, oh, that's hot. So if you can see, like I said, I have it right on top. So next thing I'm going to put in is 2 onions. And I'm not going to dice the onions like I usually do. I'm just going to kind of chunk them. This is actually really easy. The only thing that takes a while is the 4 hours of cooking. So it's not too bad. And usually you want like onion chunks anyway. But like I said, this is a small chuck roast. Usually you use a London boil, but it's not even money being tight. It's just prices being ridiculous. So I got that chunked onion. Next I'm going to do this one. And I'm doing it long ways. That way they're kind of like strips. So I have them like that. Okay, next onion. And yeah, I'm just throwing my scraps into the sink. So if you have any idea of what I'm doing, I'm trying to get rid of the paper right away. That way it doesn't like clog up and just congregate. Just pulling the paper off sometimes is the hard part. It's actually easier on garlic, believe it or not. I'm sorry if I sound distant. I'm still getting over that cold. I haven't inhaled cooking oil yet. So, just got off a really bad phone call. So I'm gonna kind of like just toss the onion in there so it kind of just Make sure I break it up some. Actually, I'm going to cut this middle off that one. That way it's not so chunky, because I kind of do want it to strip a bit. Get all my onion in there. Like I said, this is like super fast and easy. The hardest part is the waiting the hours for it to cook. So now that I got that done, I have 3 potatoes that I'm going to chunk. And I've already scrubbed these clean before I started. So if you're not comfortable with a knife, there was a technique that I saw a long time ago to curl your fingers, but it also slows you down. So it's, you know, to each their own. Like I said, I want to cube it up some, because sometimes you don't just want a chunk of potato in your mouth. Other times you do. Like I said, to each their own. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to leave them as chunks. I'm going to leave them as fries. Kind of. I kind of actually, yeah, I like that shape. That should give it some depth. And I'm cutting them 2 at a time. And remember, like, unless you're going to skin a potato, you always use it washed, because potatoes are roots and they tend to get very dirty. So, here's another onion. I decided to keep the skin on these just because I like the flavor of the skin. Now, you could, if you wanted, you could peel them, but I have chosen not to. And pot roast is one of those dishes. It's kind of basic, but everyone has their own twist on it. I am one to go for the spice cabinet. I love to play with spices, different flavors, different textures, different tastes. And I really am hoping this is going to be a really good, robust pot roast with a lot of flavor and a wee bit of kick. So my last 2, this piece, and then I'm going to finish my final spud. And again, you know, stuff like this always takes time and practice. Best advice I can give you is always make sure your knife is sharp. I like the heavy knife because you can use the weight to cut. Sometimes you just need a little pipsqueak, but I really enjoy my heavy knives. And this one was actually suggested to me, and I absolutely love it. So it's kind of funny, I still have sear, that's the word I was thinking of. I'm actually searing the meat right now while I have it kind of like half cooking. Now I lost my other train of thought. Spud on the floor. There's actually some onion on this board which will go in a little later than it should. What I try to do is I always try to do my most flavorful stuff in the pot first. That way it like spreads the flavor before I add the more I don't want to say mundane, because potatoes are not mundane, but the kind of like the filler, I guess. Because potatoes, I mean, they have a flavor, but they usually grab whatever flavor you put with them, which makes them like little flavor sponges. So now that I got my potatoes in, I'm going to add carrots, and I was very lucky to find carrot chips, which are the perfect texture for this. They look like potato chips or pickles, whatever you prefer. So, I got my carrots in. Now that I'm done with my board, I'm actually going to move my board so you can see what I'm doing better. Maybe. Okay. There, you can see now. So I have the meat, I have it layered. Meat, garlic, onions, potatoes, and carrots. And this is perfect. I'm going to take some Worcestershire. What's this here sauce? Pour that in. And actually finish the bottle. And then I'm going to throw in some beef and veggie with barley condensed soup, which I actually grabbed shopping last night. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a try. So this is, that smells good. Totally experimental. Never used this before. Can I put this in? Yeah. I'm too lazy to grab my spatula. So, I don't know if that's going to give me all the flavor I want, so I am actually going to use a little bit of Better Than, hi! I'm not going to use you. I'm not going to wash you off. I'm going to use a little bit of the Better Than bouillon. Yeah, this is the roasted beef, which will give it an awesome, awesome flavor. Now you want like 1 teaspoon to like 1 cup. I'm going to be adding a lot of cups, so I'm just going to heap it in. There we go. Now, if you are, where can I put this? There we go. I can put it in the sink. Dirt. Now, if you are lucky to have one of these are a lifesaver at this time. I have my kitchen sink, and I have hot water. And I'm just going to water this down. Carefully. Actually, no, I'm going to spray my entire kitchen. I just don't feel like picking it back up. Okay, hold on. 1 minute I forgot to add. I'm going to actually add a bay leaf. Well, kind of a bay leaf. These are some tiny bay leaves. Oh, look, I got a full one. In pieces. Which is good. It'll actually, like, break up and add oil to it. So, okay, I have it pretty full now. I kind of want to break up that, bouillon a bit. So I'm actually going to give that kind of a stir in so it, what is the word? Cooks, I guess? Dissipates. There we go, dissipates. So I have this on high. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it go for 4 hours. I do not have 4 hours of, I put the lid on right. I do not have 4 hours worth of filler. So when this is, there we go. When this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the meat out, replace it on my wood board, and I'm going to slice it. I'm not going to actually fork it. I'm going to slice it into pieces and serve it that way with the veggies. It will be absolutely delicious, and don't worry that everything's not submerged as it cooks down. It will be. Again, Ember Burns Black. I try to go live on Tuesdays and Fridays. If you enjoy what I do, I also have a TikTok that I post on Wednesdays. If you really want to support me and keep me going, my PayPal is Ember Burns Black. I love you guys. Stay gorgeous. I will see you all next week.